This is CBC Here and Now.
You can't blame people for going to the pumps, but last night was the only word to describe it was chaos.
Long lineups and bursting bubbles in Labrador ahead of a surprise jump in gas prices today.
The food bank in Carbonear serves a vast area and it likes to be hands-on, but how do you get close to your people when you have to stay 2 meters apart?
Good evening, I'm Carolyn Stokes. We begin in Labrador. Drivers there are facing a shock at the gas pumps today. Gas prices skyrocketed overnight by 30 cents a litre. The PUB approved a major price hike at the request of two fuel companies, Woodward's and Normore's. Those businesses purchased their fuel supply before global oil prices tanked, so now they can't afford to sell that gas at the lower prices we're seeing elsewhere in the province. The president and CEO of Woodward Oil says even with the 30-cent increase, they are still losing 9 cents a litre.
A lot of people are very unhappy with us, and I guess they get some solace that we're still losing money, we're just not losing as much. This is a temporary situation until the inventory is gone, and come July, when the end of June, July, when the first inventories come in, we'll be able to lower the pump prices down because we'll have acquired inventory at a much lower cost, hopefully.
Joining me now to talk more about the situation is the mayor of Happy Valley Goose Bay, Wally Anderson. So Mayor Anderson, as the rest of the province is paying the lowest gas prices in a decade, your area has this dramatic price increase. How are residents reacting to this?
Well, Carolyn, people are pretty upset and angry. The way that it was handled, that in this case, there was no information put out prior to the hearing. There is no information put out notifying people that it would see a large increase in the prices, and bang, it happened. People went to the gas pumps in droves, and it's a concern for a lot of people. And what you got to remember, there's people who have already budgeted for the next 3 or 4 months. Those on fixed income, how much they can pay for gas. They've done that. So, all of a sudden they got to pay an extra 30 cents a litre, and, this is where their anger and their frustration is coming in. I think that was a shock that was felt throughout Happy Valley Goose Bay. And let there be no mistake that you can't blame people for going to the pumps. But last night was the only word to describe it was chaos.
Really? So some people, I guess, got wind of the price increase that was coming overnight. So there was kind of a rush on the pumps last night. What did you see? What did you hear about?
Well, I drove by and it was plain to see that there was big lineups. It was shoulder to shoulder. And that caused a concern when here we are trying to fight COVID-19. And one of the safest ways to prevent it is stay your distance. And a lot of people expressed their displeasure at the closeness that people got together last night.
And what do you make of the reason behind the price hike, that Woodward's and Normore's simply can't afford to sell gas at market value right now because they purchased it before prices dropped?
Well, I'm sure it's difficult, but a lot of business across this province has to make adjustments. But in this case here, that an application had to be made to the PUB, and there's a process. And the process that happened every other time was there would be a hearing. People would be given the opportunity to intervene and voice their concerns. And in this case, none of that happened. Hopefully that when the new tanker comes, that the prices will be adjusted to the going rate of the day. But that's down the road, and it certainly doesn't take away from the hurt and the anger that people are expressing today here in Labrador over the surge in price that occurred last night.
Well, Mayor Wally Anderson, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today.
Yes, Carolyn, please God, in the near future, we may be able to have a conversation on some good terms.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Welcome.
Well, from concerns about rising gas prices to concerns about rising food prices. Money is tight for a lot of people right now, and there's word tonight that some prices for some items in the grocery stores are going up. So how are politicians addressing this? Here and Now's Peter Cowan joins us live. So Peter, explain the situation here.
Carolyn, Atlantic Grocery Distributors is the largest independent distributor. They send food to stores all over Newfoundland, and they send out a memo to stores explaining how things are going in these unprecedented times. We obtained it at CBC. They say the food distribution system is intact. That's the good news, even with concerns over whether OceanX will shut down. They say the flow of food will continue, but they're warning that the selection you see on store shelves may be smaller. As demand for some things go up, manufacturers are focusing on what they call core products. So, for example, if you're used to fancy pasta shapes, you might have to settle for spaghetti. And when it comes to pricing, they say some prices have been going up. And I'll quote here, with suppliers citing the increased cost of operating during the pandemic, increased costs due to reduced availability of raw materials and the current exchange rate. These factors will have direct impact on pricing. However, the Premier insists price increases aren't an issue here.
I've spoken to many of the retailers, and that they've made a commitment that they would not see, some significant increases in the cost of essential products within our province. I haven't heard this from any consumer group or the experience, but I do know that there's expense side that many people are experiencing, and the last thing we want to see is this being downloaded onto the consumers within our province.
Now, according to the memo, the other price impact is there are some products that would normally be discounted. They go on sale, and right now, because they're in high demand, distributors aren't doing that. So if you're used to buying something when it's on sale, you may end up having to pay full price. Now, Atlantic Grocery wouldn't do an interview, so we weren't able to get any specifics in terms of how big those price increases are or what specific products they're seeing start to go up, Carolyn.
Thanks so much for this, Peter. That's Here and Now's Peter Cowan reporting live. Well, we've seen lineups at grocery stores, but for people in need, there can often be lineups at food banks as well. Anthony visited a food bank in Carbonear to learn about the challenge of helping people during this time of physical distancing.
Well, Carol, the pandemic is affecting everything, and that includes food banks like the one here in Carbonear. And Carrie Abbott is the chair. So, Carrie, what's happening here?
Well, we've had to change how we operate. We've definitely had to scale back our operations. So some programs and services that we offer are no longer happening. But even our food bank operation, we're now, we're limiting the number of people in the building. It's difficult to have that one-on-one connection with the people that we serve. Whereas before, you could actually have a conversation, you could, check in with them. Now it's a little bit more rushed and a little bit more tense because people are awkward. I mean, just look at the way we're doing this right now. And just imagine if your only human interaction is like this.
I managed to get a peek inside. You seem to have shelves that have a lot of food.
They look like they have a lot of food today. That would do us before for a couple of months. Like we were safe for a couple of months. Now that only does us about 2 weeks.
2 weeks, okay. And you have 600 families over what distance?
So we cover over 350 kilometers, so from Carbonear right down to Beta Verde, Greats Cove, and then up the Trinity Bay side to Woodburn. And we do serve some families in Chapel Arm as well. We're seeing people coming from all areas, and our numbers increased probably late last summer, and the pandemic definitely increased those numbers. We're starting to see them level off a bit as the initiatives from the government has come out.
And this place is more than a food bank, right? I noticed you have some couches and like a room, which is obviously off limits right now.
It is. So it was a place that people could come, they could relax, they could get assistance with interview prep. We have a boutique room where they could get clothes, like if their kids' concert, like the end of school, we used to have people coming in to get clothes to go to their kids' concerts at the end of the year. We also have a program for new moms where everything they need to bring that baby home, they would be provided with, and they'd be able to come in and grab it. All that has basically ceased right now.
How are you dealing with this personally? Because you obviously are a hands-on kind of person, and now there is no hands-on.
There isn't, but what we've started doing is a group of us come in the evenings and we call. We check in with some of our seniors who are by themselves. We check in with people who are going through chemo treatments. Just that call to have that conversation with them. And those are the ones that we can actually reach by telephone. I mean, there is a huge gap right now when we talk about offering services. Our food bank does take walk-ins even now. Some food banks have chosen to go with appointment only, and I understand that. But for a lot of the people we serve in this rural area, they don't have access to telephones. We have people that are living in homes right now within walking distance of this building who don't have electricity. So there's no way for them to connect with internet to be able to hear what's going on.
So as far as somebody watching right now, how can people help?
The biggest thing for us right now, we can't accept donations that are coming from the community because of the fact, like food donations, because we'd have to sterilize, and that's extra work for our volunteers right now. So what we are asking is for cash. The biggest thing right now is we have a higher purchasing power, and we know what we need. So if you wanted to send us money, that's fantastic. Just support your local food banks and organizations like ours that are doing this work in our communities.
Well, a jump in the number of new cases of COVID-19 today. It's the largest single-day increase in 10 days. There are 5 new cases of COVID-19, all in the eastern region. The total number of people who have contracted the virus is now 252. 7 people are in hospital. 3 of those are in intensive care. But the good news is that more people have recovered than are currently sick. 170 people have recovered from COVID-19. That means there are now 79 active cases in the province. That's the lowest number we've seen since March 25th. Well, the province's seniors advocate, Suzanne Brake, took part in today's briefing and called for some changes to provincial policy to help seniors during this pandemic.
I am suggesting, through information that's been given to me by families, by seniors, by residents who live in these homes, that there be inspections occurring frequently, especially throughout this period, to ensure that the policy of isolation is adhered to, and at the same time, to reassure families and friends that their loved ones are receiving the care that they require. That even stronger processes be put in place so that families can connect with their loved ones through electronic means and telephone. I recognize that this may be a very challenging process to set up, especially given staffing levels and the confusion that we're living through, but it is essential for the residents and their families. I'm also suggesting that a similar process be put in place in hospitals, because I've heard from many patients who are in hospitals or families of patients in hospitals that they too have become isolated and they are having great difficulty in connecting with each other. I think it was yesterday I heard that efforts are being made to limit the portability of home support workers as well, and provide them with extra protective equipment to be used and learning how to use them. This is, again, another essential piece of that continuum of care. The final issue I'm hearing from seniors is the impact of increased cost of dispensing fees. In anticipation of a shortage of medications overall, pharmacies have moved from filling a prescription for 3 months to monthly. Those seniors who are of very low income and in receipt of the 65 plan will not be individually affected, as these fees will be covered through the increased availability of funds in the province. However, this has resulted in economic hardship for some seniors who are on a large number of medications, are on fixed incomes, and not eligible for the 65 plus plan. I'm hopeful that the increase in the GST, which I'm thinking may be in a lot of people's pockets today or tomorrow, may be able to offset some of that expense and that cost. But I'm also suggesting that anyone affected should speak to your pharmacy, talk to your pharmacist and ask if they can reduce the fee somewhat. Further, I commit to continuing to monitor in order for us to determine whether the shortage of drugs has materialized as anticipated, and when can that supply get back to normal and therefore back to a 3-month supply for seniors.
Well, the health minister says he appreciates the recommendations from the seniors advocate and will now figure out a way to act on them. He also says that unlike other places in the country, almost all of the long-term care homes here are directly run by the health authorities, so already face regular supervision and accreditation. Well, in other news tonight, if you're drowning in a month's worth of recyclables, here's some good news. Some areas on the Avalon will soon resume the pickup service. Recycling will start up again next week in St. John's for just 1 day a month. The city says there will be no limit on the number of bags you can put out. Mount Pearl will also resume recycling next week, while Paradise residents can drop off their recycling on designated days. In CBS, curbside pickup continues to be suspended. For details on your collection day, visit your municipal website. Welcome back. Well, the requirements of physical distancing have shut down churches and other gatherings, but religious leaders say support and connection are more important than ever before, so they're figuring out new ways to keep the faith. Here and Now's Garrett Berry reports.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
The prayers are the same, but this is different.
I've been a priest for more than 35 years, and this is the first time that I've celebrated Mass in virtually an empty church.
Looking out during his homily, he saw no one.
And this empty tomb.
Everyone was home.
Oftentimes we can see it by their expressions if our points are being made. Over the camera, it's just not like that.
3 weeks ago, these doors were closed.
I knew that for many people, I was cutting them off from a very important spiritual support.
To make it right, Mass in central Newfoundland has moved online.
That if we do our part, God will do God's part. It won't be the same, but it will be God working.
So has the Salvation Army in Lewisport.
I'm probably one of the last people that, would want to be online. But a wise person said to me, they said, Darlene, during this time, people need to see their own pastor.
The transition to physical distancing hasn't always been easy.
Like, for example, when I had the funeral, if she had called me previously and said my husband passed away, the first thing I would have said to her is, I'll be right over, right? But now I can't do that.
But with regular services, she's keeping the faith.
It's motivating in a way because you're still preparing for your people on a Sunday, but it's just a different format.
And just like the church has moved online, so too has the community for important festivals of all faiths.
Passover, as you probably know, revolves around 10 plagues, and the first thing that people said is this is the 11th one.
It's normally celebrated with feasts. Now, it's just from the comfort of your own home.
And there's always the thought next year in Jerusalem, and this year, maybe next year, free to actually move about without thinking you're going to cause immediate death in your environment.
For Wallinettes, it's not necessarily the scripture, but the community that's cause for celebration.
Hey, we did it. Hey, we're not just in this strange bubble where every day is like every other day.
Garrett Barry, CBC News, Gander.
Ashley is here now with a look at the weather forecast, and it looks like another beautiful evening in St. John's.
It certainly is an absolutely gorgeous evening, but temperatures today, even though they were only a couple of degrees cooler, with the addition of that wind, it certainly feels a lot colder. Need my gloves for sure tonight. Let's take a look at those temperatures across the board. Sitting around 6 degrees is the daytime high in St. John's, and then we've got those similar temperatures towards the west coast, 3-4 degrees, and then up through Labrador, holding on to some of that colder air. About -8 was the afternoon high in Lab City today. And if we take a look at the weather system, we do have that area of low pressure that's moved off, but not a whole lot happening today. Some flurries, scattered flurries moving through along with some areas of cloud cover, but we are into some of that colder air, and we can certainly feel it out there. And that's really going to continue as we head through the next couple of days. So overnight tonight, just a potential for some flurries moving through most of eastern Newfoundland, scattered really across the board, even up through Labrador, with partly to mostly cloudy skies overnight tonight. Temperatures will dip as well into the minus single digits, and then as we head through the day tomorrow, not a whole lot to talk about. Pretty much a carbon copy forecast from what we're seeing today as we sit under that same air mass, and then we're going to continue to see some areas of cloud cover push through, and then again can't rule out the chance of a few flurries through the day either. Certainly into the evening hours we'll see some more potential for some onshore flurries along the west coast. But overall the winds will eventually ease and temperatures will be a little cooler, so anywhere from 2 to as much as 4 degrees, with the winds easing in the east. Eventually you'll see the winds easing in the west, but for most of the day westerlies somewhere between 30 to 50 kilometers per hour. And then up through Labrador as well, westerlies, same thing through the day. Some more cloud cover expected for Lab City, -7, staying below 0 for most of the big land, sitting around -2 for Cartwright. Now into Saturday, again holding on to these cooler temperatures with the chance of some flurries moving through. They're not going to move, temperature-wise, not going to move much, but there's that risk of flurries moving through. And as we head into the evening hours, certainly the overnight, towards the early morning hours, we'll start to see some more cloud cover push in, and that's ahead of our next weather maker that will move in for Sunday. A little bit of trying to figure out what's going to happen with this one, but at this point it looks like we could see some accumulating snow, but into the afternoon on Sunday that should transition to rain for the majority of the island. Now just wanted to share this, another sign of spring in Pasadena. Thank you to Beverly Newell for sending that lovely shot in. Thank you very much for sending that in. And if you have any weather photos to share with us, send them to nlphotos@cbc.ca. But I do have one more special thing that I want to say or wish rather. Logan Nickel, a happy 9th birthday. We hear you watch the show all the time and you love the weather, so we just want to thank you for that and wish you a very happy 9th birthday.
Happy birthday, Logan, and thank you, Ashley. We'll talk to you later. Well, we will finish up tonight with this up-close look at some moose in Pippi Park.
Just came across a cow and her calf on the trail. Dogs don't know what to do. Moose don't know what to do. I don't know what to do, really.
Trevor Porter and his dogs came upon the scene yesterday at Three Pond Barrens in Pippi Park. He went for an outing with his two dogs, as you can see, and found these two moose on the trail. Beautiful creatures, but kind of a dangerous situation there. They're a bit close. Wildlife officials would advise people to keep their distance from moose in case they become aggressive and charge at you. So fortunately, this encounter did end peacefully. There you go. Very nice. Thank you so much for spending some time with us this evening. Hope you can join us again tomorrow. News from CBC Nova Scotia is coming up next.